Morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel, and there is a new event in the game. Not the best of events, if I'm honest, but it's still an event that you can get a free tank. Now, what tank are you able to get? It is this tank right here, the collectible American light tank, the T21. Now, I don't like these events where I like the event where you get new tanks for free, but I don't like these events where you get old collectibles for free. I think they should just sell them for a few gold, you know, not too much gold, but to bring them back in an event where you can add a new tank. I mean, maybe add a different variant of this tank, the T21 something, and make it a little bit different, you know, like the battle pass tanks. I don't know, but it's still an event, and a lot of players I know these collectible tanks don't have, because a lot of you are fairly new to the game and these tanks were already gone before you started playing. So is the event worth playing? Of course it is, of course, because it's still a free tank. Now, those of you that already have this tank, I would probably suggest to sell it, because you're getting a free 500 gold. So I don't know what you get if you've already got the tank in the event, but sell it, get yourself 500 gold, and then get the tank back. Simple as that. So how do you get this tank? Now, as you can see in the news, you got to just play the game. You got to get the subscription for the T21 in the bundle section, which we will show you, and just enter every day. So you've got to enter the game 10 days in a row, but you've also got to do little things on the odd days, like get a class 3 mastery, and then get a class 2 mastery, and then a 1 mastery on certain days. Obviously the 10th day, I think you've got to get a class 1 or an ace tanker to be able to get that, I think. So of course, as usual, if you don't complete the event, you can buy parts in the store as well. So here you can see orders. So day 2, you need a 3rd class or higher. Day 6, you need a 2nd class or higher, so basically a 2nd class or a 1st class or an ace. And day 10, you need a 1st class or an ace, and you get obviously the 50 parts, 40 parts, and overall that will add up to I'm assuming 100 parts. So if you go over to the store, it is up there if I can find it. I've seen it already. So yeah, here we go, the subscription to the T21. Now again, you could buy 20 parts for 525 gold. No bother. I mean, don't bother. And of course then you've got a claim for free. Doesn't say what you get if you haven't got if you've got the tank already. I thought it would, but I don't know what. Maybe you get the gold. I really don't know, actually. I'm sure some of you may know. So what is the tank like? What is the tank like? Is it worth the fuss? Is it worth trying to get an ace tank? I mean, there are some tanks out there. Obviously on day 10, take out a tank that's not really used. You don't have to get an ace, as long as you get a 1st class, maybe play supremacy, grab a load of damage, grab a load of supremacy points, and it shouldn't be too hard to get a 1st class. Now obviously it is a light tank, an American light tank with 0 armor. Literally 29mm is the best you're gonna get. 1839 damage per minute. That gives it a 5.2 second reload. Penetration 128 and 177 on your APCR. So your AP will struggle to pen a few things, especially when you're bottom tier. APCR, you'll get through a lot. You'll get through most things. Obviously in tier 7, this tank's going to suck, because there's so many overpowered tier 7s in the game. It's got 160 alpha, 135 on your APCR, 200 on your HE. Aim time 2.9, not too bad, but the dispersion is 0.344, not too good. 10 degrees of gun depression, and it goes a nice 60 kilometers per hour. So the stats is the stats. I mean, is it worth it? Because some of you will struggle to get 1st classes. I'm not going to lie, some of you will struggle. Some of you always struggle to get first class badges. But considering it is a free tank, all you've got to do is play the game and it'll naturally come. If you're playing Supremacy, most people will get a first class. If you're playing the game often enough, you will get a first class. And again, like I said, especially if you're playing a tank that is not played as often. I mean, I don't know if that's per tier. I don't know if you have to play a certain tier or not, but imagine if you could play any tier. If you play any tier, if you've got a Keniotsu, just go out in the Keniotsu, no problem whatsoever. But don't quote me on that, because I don't know if it's like tier 5 or above or anything like that. Now this game here, we had this game, yeah, the AT2 there in the corner. I mean, no idea what this team are doing. Half of them just didn't want to move, and the AT2 decides to go in the bottom corner. Now, that wouldn't be a bad position for an AT2 if the AT2 was top tier. And because the AT2 has fantastic armor, it really does. When you're top tier against tier 5s, when you're top tier against tier 4s, you will bounce a lot of tanks. And I am in the process of making an AT2 video, because it's been such a long time since I've played the tank, and it kind of I got a replay sent and it kind of sort of took me back, and because the AT2 was actually my first tank in the game, my first tier 5 tank in the game. Of course, there is the KV2. I don't really want to get in the way with him, but luckily he doesn't destroy me, and you can just see the AT2 just trying to HE me to death. So I'm going to get out of there. I am a one shot now. I can take a shot from the AT2, of course, unless he high rolls the HE. And I'm just going to go in from a different angle. There goes the T-37, and now we can just wait for this KV2, get a quick shot on him, and unfortunately doesn't penetrate, but we're going to win the game. It's a 6 versus 3, no problem whatsoever. And again, I missed the Titan there, and you can just still see the AT2 just sitting at the back and still doing absolutely nothing at all in this game, except for farm a bit of HE damage. Now that was a troll bounce there on the KV2, but we do manage to take him out for our 3rd kill. We're gonna ignore that guy, and we're gonna go and see if we can spot this AT2 and try to get just a little bit more damage from him, because we know he's here. He hasn't moved all battle, so we know he's here, but we don't want to die from this guy, because you don't want to die from someone that has no idea how to play. But that's the thing with a tank like this, because it's got no armor, even the worst of players will be able to penetrate you. So do bear that in mind, because it does literally have 0 armor. You're not going to bounce anything unless someone just shoots your tracks and they and it's a bit troll. Yeah, you're not going to bounce anything at all. So we've got one more game for you here. Again, we are top tier. Now, as I've said at the start, do be careful. Do be careful when you're playing this tank, because it's not the best of tanks. I'm not going to lie. It's not bad, but there are better tanks out there. I mean, this MT25 for a start is much, much better than this. The T37, I think there's, or T67 or whatever it's called. And it's not a bad tank, but when you're against those tier 7s, when you're against those smashers, the annihilators, and tanks like that, then yeah, you're just going to get torn apart. So do bear that in mind before playing this tank. Know how to play it, and just realize it's not the best of tanks. As long as you realize it's not the best of tanks, you'll be all right. And just play it carefully, play it cautiously, and don't just YOLO, because people, SU-152s, they will destroy you. They will one-shot you. KV2s could even one-shot you. Yeah, do be careful with the tank. But it's a nice little gesture I do get from Wargaming. It is a nice little gesture. It's a little event for free. You don't have to spend any money in the game. So there are going to still be people that are not happy, that complain. Be happy with everything that's going on in the world right now, and just be happy that Wargaming are still giving. They're still giving to people. They're still bringing in events, the opportunity for people to get tanks that they've never had, and that's what these collectibles are. Yes, I would like to have seen other tanks in events, especially in events, because you want a new tanking event. When there's a new tank, when there's an event in the game, a new event in the game, you want to get a new tank. So I don't like the fact that it's an old collectible in the event. But as I said at the start of the video, like, a lot of you wasn't around when these tanks were actually tech tree tanks, and so you'd never have seen these, because now they're collectibles. They're not played. They're really, I can't remember the last time I see one of these tanks. If I'm honest, I got no idea when the last time I see this tank in the battlefield. Of course, now you will see it a lot more. As you do over the next sort of 2 weeks, you'll start seeing a hell of a lot more, because people will start to get the tank. So sort of in 10 days time, expect to see 3 or 4 of these in one game, because that does happen in events where people can get free tanks. It does happen, trust me. But again, it's nice for Wargaming to bring an event right now into the game that you're able to get a free tank for. It's great for those free to play players as well. And yeah, just 10 days. 10 days is all it takes. 10 days. All you've got to do is log into the game. You don't even have to play. All you need to do, well, you do on them days that I said, where you need a 3rd class, 2nd class, 1st class. That's all you need to do. All the other days, you can just log into the game, get the subscription, and then log off again, if that's what you want to do. So overall, not a bad tank, but it is free after all. So be happy. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all very soon. Bye bye.